In this video, I want to show you something very simple that you can start to work on right away that's going to quickly help you to improve your game. This is something that all professional tennis players work on. It's something that all high-level junior players work on, but unfortunately, very few adult players work on it, despite the fact it's basically the biggest difference between levels of tennis player and one of the major things that holds players back. So I'm going to show you a series of points. We're going to start off at the 3-5 level, then move to the 4-0 level, then the 4-5, and then we're going to get to the 5-0 level so that you can see the difference between what I'm talking about here, and hopefully it's going to make sense and it's going to motivate you that you should actually put some work in on this. And to help you with that, I'm also going to give you a free program to work on what we're going to be talking about here. So we're going to start off at the 3-5 level and just watch some of these points. Now, these are all matches that I've taken from YouTube, and I'll place links in the description to the various different matches so that you can watch them in full to get a greater understanding of what I'm talking about. But what I want you to notice here is the lack of intensity within the footwork. So hitting tennis balls is hard. There's a lot of variables involved, but it's completely under your control how much you move your feet and how much intensity you place into that. So what I want you to notice is that after each of these players has hit shots, there's very little effort on recovery. There's not necessarily a defined split step, and then the movement to the ball is a little bit sluggish. And what we're seeing is that basically all of the mistakes that came in those 3 points were just from the player being out of position. So if they want to be able to hit a better quality of shot, it's not necessarily about watching more YouTube videos and practicing your forehand and backhand over and over again. Tennis is a movement-based sport. You have to get to the ball first, you have to get in position, into the right position, before you can hit a good quality shot. So what these guys and most players really need to work on is their footwork. Next, we're going to take a look at a couple of points played at the 4-0 level. And again, what I want you to notice is the amount of footwork that is or isn't taking place. The level of shot making has increased from the previous game, but the actual footwork itself really isn't much better. Again, there's no defined split step. There's very low intensity after the players have hit shots, and these points are basically being won and lost on poor quality movement. The guy who wins both of these points just moves a little bit better than the other guy. Now we'll take a look at a couple of points played at the 4-5 level. And what I want you to notice here is that this is a dramatic step up from where we were a moment ago. This is a much higher level of match, so in theory it's only one level between the 4-0 and the 4-5. But look at the quality of footwork from both players. There's almost continual movement. After the shot is played, there's intensity in the recovery. There's very few points where either player is completely standing still. They're a lot more on the toes. They're a lot more lively. The footwork to the ball is better. The spacing is better. And yeah, obviously they're executing better shots, but the shots are able to be executed at that high level because of the quality of the footwork and because they're in so much of a better position. And then finally, we're going to take a look at a match between a 5.0 and a 5.5 player. And again, I want you to notice the dramatic step up in the level of footwork that they're displaying. Listen to the sound coming from the movement of the gentleman down this end. You can hear the intensity in his footwork. And when you watch high-level players play, if you listen, you'll hear this sound from all high-level players because the movement is constant. There's lots of little adjustment steps. There's lots of intensity in the recovery. And because of that, players are able to set up in better positions. And when you're set up in a better position, the chances of you hitting a good shot go up dramatically. And it really lays the foundation for being able to play a much higher level of tennis. You can't shortcut the process. You don't get to hit higher level tennis balls unless you're set up in position to hit them. As you can see, there is a massive difference between the footwork that's used at the 3-5 level and the 5-0 level, and it basically goes up as you go up through the levels. So if you want to become a better player, you need to improve your footwork and that means you actually have to dedicate enough practice time to working on it. To help you with that, I've created a free footwork program. I'll place a link up there and I'll place a link down in the description. Click on either of those links and then you can get this free program and start working on things. And it's going to show you a series of different progressions. It's going to break down the individual steps. It's going to talk about the split step, the adjustment steps, the type of footwork patterns that you need to use to move to the ball so that you can set up in as optimal a position as possible. It's also going to talk about the different types of footwork that you need as you're making contact with the ball. And when it comes to practicing your footwork, one of the best things is it's really easy to do. So I'm demonstrating it on court because it's easier for demonstration purposes, but you don't even need access to a court to work on this stuff. You can do a lot of it at home in your front room. You can do it in a car park. You can do it in the street. You can do it anywhere you've got space. But what you have to appreciate is that tennis is a movement-based sport. We spend way more time getting to the ball and recovering from shots than we do actually hitting the ball. If you're not set up in the right position, the chances of you hitting a good shot go down dramatically. And if you're trying to develop modern techniques, you're really trying to improve your forehand or backhand, that is all about being set up in position so that you can load and efficiently use your kinetic chain. And because of that, you absolutely need to spend time working on your footwork. So hopefully that all makes sense and you're excited to start training and working on these things. Footwork program is going to be up there and it's going to be down there. Once you've downloaded it and started working on it, I would love to hear your feedback, or if you've got any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I look forward to seeing you next time.